Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here for a special video. A special video, y'all. You know, we don't never really come back midweek for Married at First Sight. Never, ever, especially not this season. Maybe some seasons before the seasons were so good, we need to come back for a second helping, a second plate. But never this season. We really never even had to come back. But let me tell you something, y'all. Let me tell you something. Why did I see this article? I saw it on Monsters Critic, but then Monsters Critic actually had snagged it from IG mafs fan. They had actually snagged it from mafs fan. And they started talking about how Emily is going off on IG on not only Cameron, because we know Cameron put her on Front Street. We know Cameron put her on full on blast, and her bestie girlfriend there, Becca, who was at the after party, couldn't defend her, didn't have no ammunition. All Becca could do was sit there with her mouth shut and her face on the floor. And I kept saying, pick it up, Becca, pick up your face off the floor, but she couldn't do nothing. So Becca decided, I guess, Emily decided, I guess since Becca couldn't do the job, Becca couldn't defend me, I'm going to go on IG and I'm going to defend myself. Well, what you got, Emily? Bring it. I want to hear it. I want to hear the rebuttal to Cam, what Cam said, because it was explosive. And if you got something better than what Cam has, bring it on. If you can beat Spider-Man, if you can scale an 80-foot story building like Spider-Man can, then bring it on, Emily. Are you going to be Catwoman? Are you going to be Catwoman? Because I'm ready to hear it. I'm ready to see it. So she goes on IG. And what did she say? First point. Oh, Tweedles. Tweedles conspiring together again for mass manipulation. Cam is trying to use Claire's narrative as his news. Okay, let's talk about it, Emily. We need to see the receipts. We need to see the text messages. I can't wait for this reunion because I need to see exactly who is the biggest liar. Who is the biggest liar? Is it Cameron or is it Emily and Claire? I already know it's Claire. And let me tell you something else. Emily must be out there drinking a bottle of wine because she still didn't say nothing about those aren't the text messages. They're different text messages. She should have said all that. If the text messages didn't really prove what Cameron was saying, Emily, why didn't you mention that? Because right now, this just sounds like the same old thing Emily's been doing all season. You know, when I first started talking about Emily and her nasty attitude, everybody got all over me. Start telling me how I'm not a woman's woman. Start talking to me about Emily is being abused. I said, you know what? I said, what I don't like about Emily is Emily ain't admitting nothing she does wrong. Nothing. The whole season is about what Brennan was doing wrong. We clearly saw that Brennan had some issues. Shoot, we all got issues. Everybody got things. So we already knew he got issues. Well, I always said it. Hey, he got some anger issues. I said, but nah. Behind closed doors, Emily is running her mouth. I said it back then. And now what we see is this Emily that wants to come on IG and she want to fight everybody. I'm telling you, all season long she's been fighting. This ain't no new Emily. This is not a new Emily. Cameron did not wake up a new Emily, a Emily that now wants to fight Cameron. No, this has been the Emily all along. And now Emily, what I've been saying is Emily ain't too bright. She ain't too bright. So to get on her with her point number one, to talk about Cameron is stealing Claire's story, Claire's narrative. Well, Emily, you sound really dumb. Because what Cameron has actually said is he has admitted to a whole lie. He has admitted that he and Claire were in cahoots from the very beginning of the show to lie to you, to lie to me, to lie to the producers. Okay? The story is horrible in and of itself. But what Cameron said was the idea to lie. The person who really wanted to go along was Claire. It was Claire. So now, Emily, what you want to believe, you're not even defending Claire, because what you're saying is Cameron stole Claire's story. What story did he steal? The story that it was her idea? So at the very least, Emily, you're defending a woman. You're defending a woman that came up with a kooky story to lie. Even if you say it's the reverse, Emily, even if you say Cameron has stolen Claire's story, the story is horrible in and of itself. So because the story is so horrible, why would you even be on here defending her? The fact that she lied not only to the audience and the producers, she lied to you. To you. Or Emily, did you know this? Did you know the plan? Is it that you knew the plan? Is it that you knew that these two were in cahoots? Did you know that they were lying all season long? No matter the way you slice it, Emily should have kept her mouth shut. But that's what we know Emily can't do. She don't know how to keep her mouth shut. That's why Brennan didn't like her, because she don't know how to shut the hell up. She's out here running and flapping her gums on IG, and it really doesn't even make her look any better. It makes her look worse. It makes her look dumb. Do I need to add dumb to the category of Emily? Because I already told you Emily's sloppy. She's junky with all her junk everywhere. She's a sloppy drunk. She's a drunk. She's promiscuous. She's a liar. Okay. Now, do I need to add dumb to the category? Dang, Emily. Dang. Let's go on to number 2. She says, me cheating versus Brennan cheating. Examples with an S, which means multiple cheating from Brennan, is not apples to apples. First of all, Emily, if you're going to say it's not apples to apples, you should have put, unless I don't know what's going on in these little emojis, you're supposed to put the same apples, because what you're trying to say is it's not the same apple, which means both apples should have been red or they both should have been green. I don't know. It could be me because I am old. I am not of this generation that uses emojis all the time. So wait until you find out which friend Brennan told Brennan about this one. Okay, Emily, good Lord. First of all, are we talking about degrees of cheating? Is that what we're talking about, Emily? Degrees of cheating? So let's break out down the degrees. From what we know, from what Cameron said, and from what your friend Becca validated on the after party, what was going on with Brennan and his cheating was that there were multiple women texting him, contacting him on IG. So none of these women would have known that Brennan was married. None of these women would have known that Brennan was on Married at First Sight. He would have known none of these things, because these are profiles he had up. I don't know. So these women are texting him, IGing him, and he's having conversation back and forth with them. So from what we know, that's the cheating Emily is talking about, because her friend Becca didn't bring up any other kind of cheating. Her friend Becca said Brennan was talking to women back and forth on IG and on social media. Back and forth. Got it. He was cheating. He was flirting with other women. He was doing whatever. Got it, Emily. Because now we're talking about degrees of cheating. Because here's the problem that Emily has. She's trying to defend thieves among thieves. Just like I said, she was trying to say who's the biggest liar, Claire or Cameron, where they're both lying. Cameron admitted that he was lying. Okay, so now what you're about to do is who's the cheater amongst cheaters. This isn't a good space for you, Emily. Why are you here? Why are you here defending the best amongst the worst? But let's go with it, Emily. Who's the worst cheater? Well, you know what I'm going to say, Emily? It's you. If I have to choose between two cheaters, and I have to choose between the cheater who's texting women on IG or texting women on any other type of social media, and I got to choose between that person and the person that physically cheats, goes out to a bar, makes out with a strange Australian man, I'm going to say you're the biggest cheater. So why did you bring up this debate to me, Emily? Did you really want me to say, yeah, I still think you're the biggest cheater? Like I said, is Emily dumb? Is she dumb? Then she says, Wait until you find out which friend, hashtag friend, told Brennan. I already know who told Brennan. Cameron told Brennan. Good Lord, Emily, you're dumb, but we not dumb. I know who told Brennan. Cameron told. But the question you need to ask yourself, Emily, is who told Cameron? Who told Cameron when you were there making out with the Australian man? Who was there? More than likely, it was just your girls. Or if your girls weren't there, more than likely you only told your girls, which means who told Cameron? I think it might be your girl Claire. So once again, you're mad at Cameron for telling Brennan your secret, but you're not mad at the person who told Cameron your secret. And now you want to say Cameron's not the friend because he told Brennan? No, that is a friend. That is a friend who tells their other friend that their wife tongued down a man in a bar. That's a friend. That's a friend. But who's not a friend is your bestie who ratted you out to the husband she don't even like, she don't even love, that she ain't even gonna stay with. It ain't even pillow talk because they ain't laying on no pillows together. She couldn't wait to tell Cameron what you did, because what you fail to realize, Emily, is that Claire wanted to break you and Emily up, you and Brennan up. Claire wanted to break you up, but you can't see it. What are you drinking? You must have moved up from wine. You cannot be on wine no more. You got to be on some hard liquor right around now. Because right now, I done read through number 1 and number 2, and you sound dumb. But I'm going to keep going. Can you redeem yourself in number 3, Emily? Can you redeem yourself? Let's read it. Oh, and KPP, well, no, she's dumb because it's not KPP. It's KKP. Get it right. When you going to call somebody out, get it right. When you're going to call somebody out, get it right. But let's keep going. Oh, KPP silencing us women and gaslighting us on national TV about being gaslit. So let's start with part number 1. Silencing us women. You could have told your secret. All this stuff all season now, you guys talking about being silenced. I don't even believe it no more. Why were you silenced? You know why you were silent? Because you were being blackmailed. That's completely different, two things. But you know what you could have done? You could have stepped out and said, I don't care. You can't blackmail me, Brennan. You can't blackmail me, Brennan. You know what you would have done to render Brennan ineffective? You could have told your secret. You could have told your secret. You could have told what you did. You were not silenced by Brennan. You were silenced by your own wrongdoing. You were keeping your own secret. Brennan didn't need to silence you. You didn't want to tell your secret. In fact, Brennan asked you several times on national TV, speak your mind, Emily. Speak your mind. Tell it. You want to start talking about what I do behind closed doors? That's what Brennan said. Tell it. Then I'm going to tell what you do. He didn't silence you. What he did was he warned you. See, let me tell you something. I knew this about Emily early on. The minute Emily started complaining about her daddy and what her daddy did to her, making her play soccer, I already knew right then who Emily was. Emily was a person with zero accountability. The minute Emily started talking about how she doesn't understand why none of her dates go past the second date, and all she does is have situationships, and all she does is, I knew Emily was a problem. Emily was a problem. That's a person of zero accountability. You mean to tell me you out here in this world, nobody wants to go out with you past 2 days, and you ain't asked no questions, you ain't figured out nothing, but all you want to do is keep blaming the men, other people for your problems, and then you blamed your whole daddy on you playing soccer? You blamed your whole daddy? He was probably trying to instill some discipline in you because he probably saw back then you was a liar and you take zero accountability. Okay, because here you are now, a grown woman, and not taking any accountability for what you do. And you want to keep calling yourself silenced. You're not silenced. You didn't have no muzzle on your mouth. You running it down. You was running behind closed door. You was running it with your girlfriends. You was opening up your mouth when you stuck that tongue out into that Australian man's mouth. You was opening up your mouth then. And you want to tell me that you couldn't say nothing? And then you want to say that Keisha Knight Pulliam was silencing you on national TV? She didn't silence you. She kept asking you. She kept asking you, but you never wanted to say anything because what you didn't want to do is you didn't want to expose yourself. Emily must think we all drunk and drinking wine and a bottle of liquor, and we can't follow her stories. We can follow them. We can follow them, and we can sniff out the bull crap in them too, Emily. We are sniffing it all out. Then she started talking about Keisha Knight Pulliam gaslit her on being gaslit. Hell, we were gaslit. You gaslit us, the audience, the producers. You're talking about Keisha Knight Pulliam gaslighting you about you being gaslit by Brennan and Austin. You gaslit us, Emily. So how are you going to try to call somebody else for gaslighting you? And you guys, Becca, all y'all are the biggest gaslighters around. You had the power to end all this and you didn't. But yet you want to call someone else, Keisha Knight Pulliam, who's not even in your marriage, who was nowhere around during the entire whole season. Keisha Knight Pulliam only started talking to you in the after party. In the after party. You was already done with your whole marriage. So who was gaslighting you in the marriage? In the marriage. Keisha Knight Pulliam didn't have nothing to do with that. She wasn't even around. But all of a sudden, you want to blame her for silencing you. You had 8 weeks on camera with a whole camera crew, producers, experts. And all of a sudden, you decide to blame Keisha Knight Pulliam, the one that didn't even meet you to 8 weeks after you were married. You want to call her the gaslighter, the one that silenced you. Girl, you take zero accountability. And then she had to throw Brad in the picture. Brad, the husband, saying he was there for backup. Well, I don't know what kind of backup he was because he sat there silent and dumbfounded at just how ridiculous this all sounded. Brad literally kept his mouth shut until he had to check Becca. Until he had to check your friend Becca. You see, that's the problem. Becca, Emily, none of y'all want no accountability. None of y'all. Yeah, I was on Austin the latter half of the season because I think he was a big manipulator. But truth be told, if anybody watches any of my videos in the first part of the season, I was all over Becca. I was all over Becca. Becca shouldn't have been on the show either, coming on here with all these war injuries and these surgeries and all this hate and animosity towards Christians, but want to be a Christian. Cursing fish over their Christianity. Talking about get you a Christian mama. It was too much. These women came over here with a lot of red flags, a lot of issues. And what they decided to do was flip the script and blame the men on everything. But you know, the men had problems too. They really did. You know, every season, Married at First Sight has a theme. They have a theme. The producers cast a theme every year. And I want to tell you that this year's theme is the crazy house. It is absolutely the crazy house. And the ringleader, the craziest of them all, is that Claire the therapist. But everybody on this show, to be honest with you, I think they need to be in an institution, a loony house. Because ain't nobody's hands clean, to be honest with you. No one on this show hands are clean. They're not clean. They're all dirty. They're all muddy. They're all bloodied up. Because the truth of the matter is, at this point in time in the season, we're not asking who lied. We're talking about who's the biggest liar. We're not talking about who was the manipulator. We're talking about who's the biggest manipulator. Okay, we gotten so low down in the mud that now we're talking about degrees of things. And stupid ass Emily gets on here and she wants to debate more the degrees of things, the degrees of cheating, the degrees of manipulation, the degrees of gaslighting. And this dumb Emily thinks that she's on high ground. She thinks I'm a thief amongst thieves, but I ain't the worst thief. Girl. And to top it all off, which is the new trend now, is that when you get in trouble as a woman, as anything, people love to go around and then solicit the help, the comfort, the protection of a certain group. And in the end, Emily says, I'm back to being absolutely disgusted. Hashtag women should support women. Women should be supportive of women. Really, Emily? Emily, was it supportive when you told Chloe that her vows were weak and fake and all that? Was that supportive, Emily? Was that supportive? No, but all of a sudden now you want to put up a hashtag. You know, it's easy to type a hashtag, but it's hard to be the hashtag. And let me tell you something else, Emily. You shouldn't support women that are cheating and lying and gaslighting. I don't care what's between their legs. What you should have is you should have a moral compass. You should have standards that you stand on. You should have standards for yourself. And we know that, Emily, you don't have no standards for yourself. We know you don't have them in relationships and sex. You obviously don't have them when it comes to telling the truth. You don't have no freaking standards. So no, don't sit around and tell me women should support women. I'm not supporting a liar, a gaslighter, and a cheater. I'm not. So when you say you going back to being completely disgusted, I never stopped being disgusted. I don't even need to go back to it, Emily, because I never stopped being disgusted with this season. And I can guarantee you there's a whole lot of people out here that have been disgusted with you, have been disgusted with this show, and are still disgusted. They never stopped. They don't need to go back to it because they never, ever stopped. So I guess, people, I got to add dumb to the category of Emily. I got to add it. There ain't no way I can't add it. Because I told you she was sloppy. She was a drunk. She was a liar. She was a manipulator. Okay. Now what people can take away is she was naive. Because a lot of people thought Emily was naive. Nope. Now you see it, people. There's no naivete to her whatsoever. No, this is who she is, and this is who she wants to be. This is deliberate. Deliberate. She is a bona fide idiot. Thank you, Married at First Sight, for introducing us to all these crazy Looney Tune people this season. We really could have done without it. Anyway, talk to y'all later. Bye.